My name is Atul Nishchal and I'm a math teacher and we belong to this organization called Ellipsis Consulting. We have developed a specific teacher training site for K-12 mathematics teachers. Now this is a very niche segment that we are trying to capture. And I'll take you through some of the significant steps and not talk much about it and then open the floor for any questions. Can we have the next screen? Now, what we believe is that there is a lot of talk about reforms in teaching of mathematics that is required in the country. And we believe that to really uplift the quality of math education, the most pertinent task is to uplift the quality of teachers, without which none of the technological aids that we are trying to develop and implement would really work in that sense. Now, that's the slogan we believe in. We believe that those who love to teach, love to learn, but we also understand that if this would have been true, Ganit gurus would not be needed. And I think that's our biggest challenge also. In our country, those who love to teach do not want to learn more. And I think that obstacle is one of the problems that we are facing in stepping into the knowledge economy. Until the time we do that, no reform would actually see the results that it intends to deliver. Our mission, therefore, is to empower teachers. And we understand with the kind of teachers, the number of teachers that are there in the state, in the country. For example, a very rough estimate that we calculated, and we are going to go back and use NOIPA's very good server now to get exact figures very soon. But our estimate is that there are about 17 lakh teachers which are teaching mathematics right now. And to train these 17 lakh teachers for about 20 days every 2 years, which is a close mandate for Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, that's really not possible without using any form of technology. So this answer to professional development of teachers has to come from technology. There is the workshops, the seminars, the face-to-face methods are excellent, but they have their own limitations in terms of how do we reach tribal areas, how do we reach the hills of Uttarakhand, how do we reach these teachers in really remote areas. And till the time we really bring about a solution which is empowered through connectivity, through technology, a very simple technology, something that teacher can use, an effective solution is not possible. And that's what we want to do. And our vision one day is that every math teacher would be using Ganit Gurus to teach, learn, share, and grow. So not only does he have to use this to teach, but learn, add their own knowledge, share among each other, and eventually grow as a better math teacher. Now, we will have to change this line very soon, looks like, after learning something from this session. We are a free online resource, and I think some of the voices that I heard here is that if you're free, nobody uses you. So we'll have to monitor that very clearly and see, can we really implement a free? But there's a rationale behind doing it for free. As I said earlier, the teachers don't want to learn. And if you don't want to do something and there's a cost involved, that's a double motivation, double demotivation. So we said, all right, let's just remove any monetary part of it. So it's a free math resource for all K-12 mathematics teachers. Only they can register on the site. What it provides, first of all, is about 3,000 pieces of digital content, which is mapped on a chapter-wise basis to the entire NCERT curriculum. So what we have tried to do is we have taken the NCERT textbooks. These are the most widely used textbooks in our math curriculum. This is from class 1 to 12, right? So this is from class 1 to 12. We have taken the NCERT curriculum, and for each chapter, we are providing a digital resource to the teacher. Now, these digital resources are the ones that are already available on the internet for free. So we have not really invented anything. See, I'm a mathematician. Mathematicians don't invent anything. They just discover things. And that's what we do. So we just discovered that there are huge amounts of free content available. For example, if you go to YouTube and you just type in rational numbers, you will probably end up getting about 20, 30 videos right there. You know, and this is all done by math teachers, a lot of them. And one good thing about mathematics is that you really can't localize mathematics after a fair amount of period, right? So except for the language issue, you know, if you're trying to teach agriculture or social studies, obviously it has to be localized to India, because in Poland, in US and in India, agriculture is different. So the content has to be localized. Well, math content is the same worldwide. I mean, it's the same Pythagoras theorem that every Chinese, Indian, Polish, and Russian and American learns. So once we have one explanation of some content given in one country, it can be used across. The only disadvantage that we are facing right now is that some of these have accent problems. So some of these would be for English users. But the fact that these resources are for teachers and not for students helps us to tackle this problem in a fractional manner. We would love that we could get these resources in our own languages, and we will hope that someday some teachers would make similar videos in Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil. Once they get an idea of how rational numbers need to be explained, we will also see them taking the initiative of creating their own videos and putting it. So the idea is not, I'm not the provider, I'm the facilitator. Ganit Gurus is the facilitator to motivate these teachers. Apart from those digital content, which is free, we are also looking at providing teaching skills for improving math instruction in the classroom. So it's not about only digital content, because digital content in itself cannot improve quality of instruction. A math teacher must understand why is it important to emphasize on the language of mathematics. Why is it important to teach the students how to read mathematics, how to write mathematics, and what are the symbols associated with mathematics. So that's just one example. How do you connect mathematics to the real life situation of the rural child? So if I'm trying to connect mathematics to a shopping in a mall, it's not going to be relevant to a child it is the school teacher. He knows what's available around the town, around the village. And he's the best person to relate the mathematics curriculum to the real life scenario of the child he is teaching, he or she. I'm sorry to be... The other main mandate of Ganit Gurus is to create collaboration and sharing among teachers. One of the good things that we have done, I hope it's a good thing that we have done, is we have created a math repository page on the site where we are asking all leading schools to come in. Well, they might not be leading, but we are asking all schools to come in and share their math assignments, math tests. All they have to do is they have to just email it to us, and we upload those pages on the server. And anybody across India can go to that page and download a test, a document, a practice assignment. Now, and not only, you don't have to do it at a school level, you can also do it at an individual level. So tomorrow, if I have a teacher who's teaching in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, that person can actually say, look, I made these notes, these assignments, and I'm going to share it with the rest of the country. So he can give it to us, we upload it for free, and similarly, a teacher in Mizoram could be downloading that for free. And language is probably the least of our concerns when we are teaching mathematics, because all math teachers are very poor in language for some reason, and so am I. Going a step further, we realized that mathematics laboratory were a lot of, it was something that has been talked about a lot in the last 5 to 10 years after CBSE made it mandatory for schools to have it. Now, a rural school does not really know what kind of activities they can do. So we are working with a large NGO. We are in the process of signing an MOU with them very soon to develop a math lab, which is a very low-cost math lab, which uses natural things that are found around a school, something like kanche that we all played with, a deck of cards, which costs around 10 rupees. There's a lot of mathematics hidden in a deck of cards and the marbles. And what we would like to do is work together. For example, a bucket that we use is a frustum of a cone. So I don't really need a model, a thermocol model of frustum of a cone when I have a bucket at home. That's how it is. So what we're trying to do here is help this NGO that we don't want to name right now, is develop a math lab which is connected to the life of a child, which is using the bare essentials of what is available around him, and bring out the math facts, the math concepts from those items. And this math lab then will be available free of cost on the website in a step manner. So here are all the activities. This is what you do. These are the things that you need, and this is the math you teach with them. And that's any teacher would be able to go ahead and do it. Luckily, even though we were free, we were able to penetrate about 252 cities. We have members from places like Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In fact, there are 4 cities in Andaman and Nicobar Islands from where we have members. And from northeastern states, Jammu, there's hardly a place, hardly a known city on a travel map of India which we have not covered. There are cities and towns, which probably I have never heard of staying in India, which we have members from. 452 schools, 600 registered members. So I'm hoping that about 6,000 teachers would be viewing the site, because I suspect that 1 out of every 10 teacher who views the site would actually take the pain of registering themselves. So around 6,000 viewerships, and about 60,000 students on an average. I think we are already touching the lives of. My next. But what we feel is the journey has just begun. You can go quickly towards it since I'm out of time. Every math teacher talks too much. We have divided the entire series into 3 segments. 2011 for us is the year of exposure for the teacher. To motivate any teacher, we need to first expose them to what they're missing in their curriculum. So our effort for 2011 is to expose teachers to the kind of activities, the kind of wonderful things they can do with their students. Not really start training them formally. But at the same time, we use 2011 to develop relevant courses, working in small teams with these teachers. Relevant professional development courses. And 2011-12 is when we start launching e-learning courses for teachers as a very focused segment, and then empower those teachers. 2013, we are hoping, after doing this for about 1,000 days, we would have some guidelines for the country to follow in terms of how do you train math teachers to teach. And that's what our plan is. We would be taking it up to the policy level, trying to get the data right from rural clusters and see how we can really design something which defines what a PD is. Unfortunately, in India, we don't have, although we have claimed that we have been doing teacher training for a long time, I think a lot of people here would really agree with me that those occasionally seminars and workshops that we do is not really a structured method of training and evaluating the impact of training. See, we have really never, in technical terms, being able to evaluate the impact of training in the classroom. So hopefully that is where we are heading towards. There are a lot of challenges, no doubt about it. Even in 2011, I think the biggest challenge is convincing a teacher to learn, to be a part of this effort. Then we understand that we really cannot get into each of those schools without support by the state education missions, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyans, MHRD, and everybody else present in the room. Oh, great. So I think the right man who we have been all waiting for, so we'll just take a break. Sir, please, how are you? No problem. If you permit, I'll just continue. So I think getting to these teachers and asking them to enroll and getting 17 lakh math teachers to train those teachers in India, we cannot do it without the support of the government infrastructure. I think that's very clear to us. And that's going to be one of the challenges for us also. And the other big challenge is we really don't want to make this into a site which does not, at the end of the day, empower a math teacher. That's our job, and I think that's going to be a big challenge for us also. So we request all the support of all the eminent people in this room, and I'll open the floor for questions. Thank you so much.